muchachos. So this week our question says, who helps to build a house? Well, so far this week we have learned that the architect draws the plans. We learned that the electricians help to wire up the house so we can have electricity. We learned that the plumbers put in all the pipes in the house so that we can have running water for our sinks, our bathtubs, our toilets, our showers, and even our refrigerators. And we learned that the painters can paint the inside or the outside of the house. Do you know which job you'd like to have if you were helping to build a house? If you don't know yet, hold that thought, stay right there, because we have two last people to learn about who help build a house. Let's go check them out now. Our first word today is landscapers. Landscapers. They probably do something with the land. Landscapers. Kindergarten, the landscapers help to scape the land. That means they help to design what the garden is going to look like. What are the plants you're going to have around your house? What shape do you want your landscaping to be? Do you want it to have straight lines around your house, or do you want it to be wavy around your house? Do you want your house to have rocks? Do you want your house to have mulch? Do you want your house to have sand? I don't know. Lots of different things that you can have around your house for your landscaping. And the landscaping, if you look, they have flowers. Look how beautiful those are. I love this time of year, kindergarten, because I can walk around my neighborhood and I can look at all of my neighbors' different landscaping. It's so beautiful what people can do. Maybe you want to be a landscaper. I don't know. Kindergarten, your last word today is movers. Movers have to be super strong because movers are in charge of moving all of that heavy stuff from one house to the next house. Kindergarten, I have moved a lot in my life, which means that I had to be my own mover because I didn't have too much stuff, because I was moving from like college to my first job, then over to where we all live with our school in that town. In kindergarten, it's just so much fun to move. You can go from one new house to the next new house, and you can meet new neighbors. You can see all the new landscaping that you live around. But the movers have a really important job because when they're moving your stuff, they have to take extra special care of it so that nothing happens, because you don't want to get your stuff back all broken, do you? So kindergarten, I want to know, have you ever moved to a new house, and did you have movers help you, or did you and your family move your stuff? I also want to know, now that we know all of our words for this week, if you helped build a house, what would be the job that you would want? Kindergarten, get yourselves cozy, relax, maybe go by a window, maybe open the window a little bit so you can hear the outside sounds. Today's story is about living in a house by the sea. Oh, what a dream, kindergarten. I would love to do that. Are you ready? Close your eyes. Let's make a movie in your mind. A House by the Sea by Joanne Ryder. If I could live in a little house, I'd live in a house by the sea. Some days I'd visit the frisky seals, and some days they'd visit me. We'd walk in the rain, those seals and I, till we'd stop for a slice of fish-eyed pie. When I got too wet, or they got too dry, we'd hug and we'd run and we'd yell, goodbye. I'd watch and I'd wave to those seals in the sea, and their flippers would splash, waving back at me. If I could live in a little house, I'd live in a house by the sea. And I'd whisper at night, when the moon was bright, would you please give a wish to me? And I'd wish I could fly in the star-speckled sky and wash my face in a cloud. And I'd sing to the moon a silly sea tune till he laughed and laughed out loud. Then I'd land on a whale with a black and white tail who would rock me fast asleep, and she'd carry me home on a crest of foam over the waters deep. If I could live in a little house, I'd live in a house by the sea. An octopus would live next door and take good care of me. With an arm doing this and an arm doing that, he'd cook and make my bed. He'd sweep the floor and paint my walls and wash the clothes and answer calls and bake me chocolate bread. I'd read him stories while he worked and serve him seaweed tea, and I would thank him very much for taking care of me. If I could live in a little house, I'd live in a house by the sea. Some days I'd catch the sea in a pail, some days the sea would catch me. I'd be wet, wet, wet from my nose to my toes, bobbing away from the shore, till the sea changed its mind and carried me back and tossed me alongside my door. When I can live in a little house, I'll live by a house in the sea, and I'll play in the sand, dancing hand in hand with a crab who is fond of me. We'll play crab games and trade our names, so if you come calling me, she'll hold out a claw to shake your paw, as friendly as she can be. Just ask the way to the crab by the bay, and she'll point the path to me. Whenever you come to the little house that sits at the edge of the sea, if you like, we can play in the sand all day, a crab game or 2 or 3. And I'll call you me, and you'll call me you. And no one will know who is who but us two as we dance round the rim of the sea. Kindergarten, I really like that story because it makes me feel so relaxed, and I love this time of year because it's getting warmer outside, and I know just like you, I can not stop thinking about being outside, being in the sun, and hopefully going and getting to lay on a beach and be by some water. So I really like that story. So kindergarten, let's check out your worksheet for today and see what it is that you need to color. So we're going to color the setting of that story. This week we're talking about setting. That's where the story happens. So you have 3 pictures. First things first though, the first thing I do is always the same. I pick up my pencil and I write my name, your first and last name. So you have 3 pictures here, and you are only going to color one of them, just one, and that's going to be the picture that shows the setting of the story that I just read, the one that you just made the movie in your mind. So, was the setting of that story, was that little house by the sea? Was that little house by the mountains? Was that little house by a stream in the woods? So I'll ask you again, think about that story we just read. Was that house by the sea? Was that house by some mountains? Or was that house by a stream in the woods? You are only coloring one picture. You are using 3 or more colors, and you are using real colors. And of course, you're taking your time and doing your best. Kindergarten, I am excited to see your coloring. I bet they're going to look beautiful. I bet they're going to look awesome. Here is your warm fuzzy for reading today, kindergarten. You are doing a great job, and I'll see you guys later.